What are you eating, dude? That looked kind of good.
You didn't hear me when I was telling you a second ago?
No.
So it's an everything bagel with green onion, chive, sour cream, and then I went ahead and sauteed, sliced up and cooked up some sort of hot link sausage thing that I had in there, and then a piece of cheddar cheese.
I apologize, dude. It's a bad habit that I've started is people will be talking to me, my friends especially, and I'll be doing something else, and I got totally good at just being like, oh, yeah, yeah, and I don't even fucking hear a word you're saying.
And some of your peach fury sauce I put on here, too.
You liking that shit?
Yeah, I am. I really am.
You're good. Good.
Very good. All you factors out there, all you mother factors, you better hit up Jason McMurray and order yourself a bottle of that peach fury, baby.
Yeah, check us out on JD's Firehouse. We got a Facebook site and a YouTube site. I monitor. Send me a message and we'll get you hooked up.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.
That is right. Alrighty. Well, I guess we might as well go and get into this then, huh, buddy? All right, mother
factors.
Factors.
Away.
Welcome to Fact You, a show that could give a fact. I am one of your lovely hosts, Ray Hazen. You know who that guy is over there.
The Big J Dog.
Big J McMurr. What's up? Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it, I guess. We'll start off today. First, I want to apologize for last episode. That people may not have realized or may realized we forgot to teabag somebody last week.
I know. We're gonna make up for it.
Yeah, we're gonna make up for it. All right. First thing I want to talk about is Canada. Our good friends, our brothers to the north.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada, right?
Viva la
Dude, I used to love Canada. I used to want to go there. I used to want to live there. I mean, Trailer Park Boys, Letterkenny, Fubar, fucking
South Park,
right? I mean, Canada was great. Tom McDonald, fucking. I mean, there's so many great Canadians out there. Like, I love Canada, but
the kids in the hall,
dude. But
yeah.
crazy socialists like Justin Castro, which we do remember my big conspiracy theory on that one, right?
Conspiracy theory.
Justin Trudeau is the illegitimate bastard son of Fidel Castro.
It's starting to make more sense. I'm telling you.
Yes, please watch. I'll go ahead and throw the side-by-side picture comparisons up there again for everybody, just to refresh your memories. Okay.
Just a reminder. All right.
Anyway, so on top of everything they've been doing, okay, they completely have legalized euthanasia in Canada. You know that, right, Jason? Have you heard about this yet?
Yeah, they did it in 2016.
Yeah,
I believe is when this whole fiasco began, and that was right at the hello crocodile. I was afraid of this. Come on, boy. Big kitty. House Panther. Come on.
All right, cat butthole.
Everybody needs a little bit of kitty taint. Anyway, good old Trudeau, it's they call themselves progressives for a reason. And I think what we're about to discuss here.
There's only one way to progress, you know what I'm saying? And it's more radically. Always.
I think what we're gonna discuss here will highlight that quite well. Kitty tail.
So you're right. It did start in, I believe, 2016 also.
Yeah.
But it originally started for those who were termed, like if you were diagnosed with you're dying in 3 to 6 months type of thing, then you were able to, medically assisted death, suicide, which I still don't necessarily agree with, because you ain't dead until you're dead. You know what I'm saying? In the next 3 months, a fucking cure could be found. You don't know, right? Or whatever it is. Who knows? It doesn't matter. But and the point is, like I've been trying to explain to some people, because we have some people very close to us who are pro euthanasia, and I've tried to explain that life is extremely precious because it's finite, right? There is an ending to it. It isn't forever. So that's what makes it precious.
Life as we know it.
Right. I do believe there is something next. I just have faith in that. If I'm wrong, then what's it going to matter to me in the end? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Absolutely.
if I'm right, then awesome. But here's the thing, though. Another thing I've tried to explain to people for years is our lives don't actually belong to us. People always want to, and that's part of Satanism, worship of self, people loving selves. But the thing is, it's more than that. Our lives don't belong to us, because let's say I was to die right now, just drop dead. What would I care? Like, what would it really matter to me? I mean, unless I'm going to hell and it's real, you know what I'm saying? And I'm there burning in a lake of fire. Okay, then I might matter. But realistically, let's ignore all the afterlife potentials, whatever. In reality, if I die, what do I care? I don't. I'm dead. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It matters to you, my mom, my son, your kids, Derek and his kid, you know what I'm saying? Morgan, the people that are left here holding the bag when I'm gone, that's the people that matter, the people that care. That's the people who my life belongs to. When you die, Jason, your kids are going to care. You know what I'm saying?
They say dying is kind of like being stupid. You don't really know, but everybody else does.
Exactly. So it makes absolutely no difference to us when or if we actually die. I mean, it makes a difference when, end it, you know what I'm saying? But like when it happens, once it's over, you're not going to care. Realistically, it's everyone else who's stuck here holding that bag. That's who your life belongs to. That's who your life matters to. And that's why taking your life, whether it's doing it on your own or assisted by a doctor, which what happened to do no harm, brother? Wasn't that a thing at one time?
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a doctor, Phil, if you catch me outside. And
But anyway, it's not your life to take. And I know people are going to want to argue with me on this one a lot, but I'm telling you, it's not. Because once you're dead, you're not the one that cares. It's like if my TV breaks, you don't care. I care, because it's my TV.
A Ipsos poll conducted in the spring of 2022 found that 86% of Canadians support the there was a Carter versus Canada Supreme Court decision there in the old Chinook state, and that led to the legalization of the whole euthanasia thing. 82% actually supported the removal of the requirement that the natural death be reasonably.
Okay. So I was just about to get into that. So since 2016, the rules have changed.
Well, they just progressed a little bit.
Of course, and they're going to continue progressing, because that's what progressives do. That's what progression is. It's going to continuously move. Where you get is never good enough. You have to go one step further, because you can't stop where you got, and so you have to.
Well, not until you control everything.
Exactly.
So
since then, it's now moved. You no longer need terminal illness. Basically, anyone with a mental diagnosis can get one. So like a 19-year-old healthy girl with depression could get assisted suicide in Canada now.
All right. Now.
And they're getting ready. You ready for this? They're getting ready to move it further into like homelessness. If you're homeless, that's a good enough excuse. You know?
Well,
hey, I've been
that's
homeless.
just trying to get the garbage off the street right there.
Well,
I mean,
not all of us are
they're
garbage.
not even trying to hide it, dude. Oh, you're homeless? You want to die? Come on,
So,
we'll pay for it.
So what happens when they finally progress a little bit further and they pass it where you don't even need to give consent? Like, you don't need to give consent.
Yeah, oh yeah, like court orders that you euthanize
A
because
court
you're
can
not
come in and say, "Yep,"
or
you're homeless,
or
you
your
have
or your-
ADHD, you
or
have
your public credit score is too low for too many months in a row.
boom. You watch too many Matt Walsh episodes.
You had two daughters
Right?
and only one son.
So I mean, this is how it works. First, you make every part of the human condition a mental illness. You just classify it all as that, right? So everything's a mental illness these days. Then you make it cool to have mental illnesses, which they've totally been doing. Go watch TikTok, okay?
Well, yeah,
then,
but
then you make it where
being like transgender and gay even used to be considered a mental illness, and now it's normal. It's not. If you tell a tranny that they're mentally ill, they're going to freak the fuck out.
40 years ago, it was totally part of the, what is it, DSMI, I believe is what it's called. That's what tells you all the mental conditions and all that. All right, but anyway, yeah, and then so classify every possible condition that the human being feels as a mental illness, then make it cool for kids to want to be it. Then you make it so you can euthanize people for mental illnesses. Then the last step is make it where you don't even need their consent, where anyone, court order can do it. Boom. Now we're full on being able to just euthanize people because they're, got a.
Can anybody say Germany?
Right.
So,
it
is akin to that.
And
I'm not saying it's the same.
No.
It is a lot different, but it's akin.
It's like oranges and tangerines, my man.
It's like a bastard cousin of the same thing.
Lemons and limes, bud. Lemons and limes.
Can I give you my take on this whole thing? I am right on board with you, and I think suicide's a sin. I think life is this life that we have is the ultimate gift, and you only get one until you move on from this place. I'm not going to get into all the rabbit hole of all the other beliefs that I have and that could be and theology and all that shit. But my point is I don't think that the state has any business telling anybody what they can do or can't do with their bodies, and that's what it boils down to. I'm the same way.
You gotta
on
be
abortion.
careful with saying that because liberals gonna throw the abortion argument in your face.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way with abortion, dude.
Really? See, I'm 100% anti-abortion.
I am anti-abortion, but I also believe that the state has no business in regulating that. I think that's a community issue.
Right. But that gets into the fact that you and I don't necessarily believe in large government either. We believe in smaller, more localized government. City, county, maybe tri-county. You get much bigger than that, you're losing me, bro. If it takes you more than an hour to get across your whole region, then I think it's too big. You get what I'm saying? Or 2 hours maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, depending on the road, if it's like this or like that.
But anyway, there's no reason why a guy in Sacramento is making decisions for LA or San Diego. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason.
It's kind of the opposite. People, in LA and San Diego are making decisions for us up here. Anyway, yes.
Well, that's because
that wasn't my point.
Gavin Pelosi.
Yeah, that San Fran Nan and her freaking
let's move off Cali because we're gonna get to California in a minute.
Yeah. But anyways, I was trying to say about this whole thing. My take on it, dude, is I wanted to say, my dad died from cancer recently.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I try not to really think about it, so I lose track. I think it was the year before.
I think it was the year before because I'm pretty sure I was in California and I moved here last year.
Like right about now, I went out and seen him in the hospital. They didn't know what the fuck. He was in ICU. He was intubated. He had this fucking this tumor that they tried to biopsy and it fucking exploded. It was all bad. And They didn't have any idea what was wrong with them, and they were like, "Oh, you're stage 4 liver cancer." It was like throughout his body. There was no hope whatsoever of reversing it.
Right.
And they said, "Hey, you can stay at the hospital, and we can do chemo. It'll prolong your life by probably another 4 or 5 weeks." Basically, is what they told him. But you're going to be barfing and shitting and having a headache all the time from the chemo.
Yeah.
So, and I just wanted to mention that I watched that man withered away. It was my sister. It was worse. He lived with my sister for like the last 6-7 weeks of his life, and but I watched him. I mean, he was down to like, it just ate him alive.
Really? So she took care of him there at the end, like that?
Yeah. He died at her house, and he came
That's
out here.
gotta be rough, man.
I know. And just watching it, and this guy that used to be so mentally sharp, he taught me almost everything I know, and he can't even remember how to play a game of cards or hold a conversation for much longer than like a minute and a half. And dude, he was down to like 84 pounds or something like that. I mean, it was Auschwitz looking. So I just want to put out there, that's why I think it's more of a personal decision, and I don't think that the state has any they shouldn't be involved with what you and your doctor do, period. Well, except for like mutilating minors is a little bit different, but as far
because the minor,
as 2 adults go, not at all.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a doctor, Phil, if you catch me outside. And
because the minor cannot consent, and that's the thing. I'm sorry. Yes, I understand that we're their parents, but if I wanted to give my 6-year-old a bottle of whiskey, people would have an issue with that, right? Or my 11-year-old a tattoo on his neck of a big titty chick, right? That have big issues with that, right? So we as parents obviously can't consent to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no! If that child's 6 and you want to start giving it hormone blockers, that's okay. That's another
okay.
show, though. That's not.
Dude. I know we're not talking about that today. We
so anyway, back to old Canada.
So are you saying that then you're in favor of medically assisted suicide? That's between a doctor and a patient. The government not involved. They get to choose. It's not like the doctors are forced, because the doctors aren't forcing it on you yet. I do see that heading that way eventually.
I am. I don't believe it's right. I believe it's morally wrong. But like with an incident with my father, dude. I mean, Well,
here's the thing then. Then you could just do it. Right? You don't need a doctor to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it for a lot cheaper at home.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you could go sit in the car in the garage with the car running for free.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the price of gas now. It probably costs like $8 or $9.
Well, it doesn't matter, dude. Hey, whoever finds you is the one that's got to fill up the tank when they're done. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was bad, dude. That was good. That was dark, dude.
That was super dark. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not in favor of euthanasia, but I am pro-liberty, and this bestow. It's not my job, or the way I feel, it's nobody's job to enforce or subject any other person to my morals.
True.
Just as nobody else can subject me to their morals.
True.
So,
but there is a difference between morals and objective harm. If you are objectively harming someone, like cutting an arm off, you get what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, okay. So that is a very good point. So fucking Joe Schmo walks into the doctor and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I hate this fucking left arm, dude. Just take her off."
He's in trauma 1. I want it off.
That guy's crazy.
Ah, I want it off. Please take it off.
This is Mr. Tacker.
He was in a hardware store, grabbed a hatchet, tried to hack his arm off.
It's not me.
Mr. Tacker, I'm Dr. Charles. What's going on?
Can you cut it off?
I'm not a surgeon, but I'd like to try and help you.
The only way you can help me is if you cut off my arm.
Boom, right at the shoulder.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No.
Why not?
No. Why not? Exactly. Because it's causing harm. But if I walk in and say I don't want my junk no more, chop it off, they're going to be like, okay.
So, I
frankly,
know,
to me, it's more insane to want to cut your junk off. I'd rather have him than my arm.
You just said the magic word, dude. Insane. Though any of these things examples that we just made should be get a direct 72-hour fucking hold.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Major psyche about it. It doesn't matter what body part it is. If you want to cut, if you come in and say I want to take my ear off, I want to Van Gogh this bitch. You should seriously.
Yeah, it was great.
I want to mail this to a chick right now, dude, because that's gonna be love. Yes, you should totally have your you know, you should be looked at for sure. I'm telling you. I don't mean it in any mean way. I got love for the crazies, bud. Fuck, I'm half crazy myself. Okay, I know plenty of you. I'm just simply stating that sometimes we need a little help, and sometimes we need someone to stand up and go, no.
Stop it. Get some help.
You know, sometimes we need to be told no in this world. Can't be told yes all the time, or else that's what we got right now. Hold on. You know, I've been thinking a lot. I think it was you that told me, Jason, about how our solar system, or our galaxy, I should say, is actually moving through a large segment of dark matter in the universe.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. So I really think that's why everything's going wackadoo. Maybe, dude, the whole book of that's the 1,000 years, bro. That's what it's gonna take. The book of Revelations, bro, is the time we're traveling through this dark matter through space. I mean, because if it's big enough for our whole galaxy to go into it, it's gonna take some time for us to travel through. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's fucking huge, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching this thing. Yeah, that's another show too.
That's another show.
We're not doing the Sci-Fi Network tonight.
we should do a science outer space god episode one day. But
I'm totally down.
I'm way down.
Not tonight.
But anyway, the only reason I'm not okay with this is I'm not okay with suicide, period. Because like I said, like I've already established, I don't believe our lives belong to us. Our lives belong to those that are left around us. So it ain't mine to take from you, Jason. You get what I'm saying? It ain't mine to take from my son. Okay, that's me taking something that doesn't belong to me in all actuality, and that's just my belief.
Well, that's
anyway,
part of what I brought up.
Yeah.
What I did because I had to watch that, and I would have rather not. You know.
Yeah. Well, I had to do the same thing with my grandpa and a couple other. I took care of several grandparents. But anyway, right at the very end. But anyway, and it's never easy. Where I'm really not okay with it is medicalizing it. Did I pronounce that correctly? Medicalizing it? I believe so. Medicalizing it. It's close enough, right? Go ahead and comment below about how stupid my pronunciation is if you'd like to. For those who can comment. But anyway, I'm saying a lot right now because I'm thinking too much. I'm rambling. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is medicalizing it is what's not okay for me. Is it okay normal? No. Medicalizing it, definitely. And then when they're not
medicalizing it. They're mainstreaming it.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what they did first. And now it's mainstream. But you still have to go to a doctor, and the doctor prescribes you death for whatever illness you have. That's the prescription. Now, and that's another thing. Treatments and prescriptions should never be more harmful than the condition. And that's another opinion that I have too. I won't take a medication where the potential side effect is worse than the condition. If I have a headache and the fucking side effect is my spleen might fall out of my ass and my head will turn inside out, like I'm not taking that pill. I'll deal with the headache.
Yeah, but what if you didn't take that pill, you would die. So that so would you rather your spleen fall out your ass or not die?
But see, that's not as bad.
That's a paradigm for scholars and philosophers beyond our
spleen falling out is not worse than death. Oh, I gotta plug my shit in. Shit, my battery's running. All right, so the point I was getting at is medicalizing it. So they medicalized it, okay? Then they're mainstreaming it, like you said. So when they took it where you no longer have to have terminal, you don't have terminal illness, where anyone, like pretty much anyone can get it now. If you're diagnosed with mental illnesses, disorders, they're wanting to move it to homelessness, like anything, poverty, if you're under like a certain poverty line, like shit like that, bro. That shows me that it ain't about wanting to help people pass on. It's about letting anyone kill themselves who wants. It's about making money. It's about commercializing the death industry, and it's about population control. And I don't support any of that. I don't support any of that, dude. Not to mention, once again, I don't support suicide, because I believe there's nothing more precious in this world than life, and that's every life. I do also believe, yes, that you do forfeit that right when you become a person who takes the life of innocence, and by it I mean innocence, you know, and I don't mean accidentally. I mean on purpose, purposefully. If you purposefully kill innocent, you should lose that right to protection also. But if it's accidental, things like that, you know, like a car crash or whatever, you know, you didn't mean to, remorseful, things like that, that's a different story. But anyway, this euthanasia, I don't know. It's evil. It's 100% evil. And it's all about murder, murder, death, kill.
Murder, death, kill, murder, death, kill, murder, death, kill, murder, death, kill.
You know, it's all about, what was his name? What was Wesley Snipes' name? Simon Phoenix. Simon Phoenix. Demolition Man, bro. Murder, death, kill.
Yeah. NBK.
Yep.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And
So, anywho.
Should we move on to the next part?
Well, do you got more to say? I think I said my piece. Like I said, I'm with you, but I disagree with you also, because I think it should be. I think the state shouldn't have anything in it. And
well, see, that's why I don't see why there has to be a medical industry for it, because you can just go do it.
Well,
right?
You know, that's a really good point.
It's already technically not illegal, right? No one goes to jail if someone commits suicide. So it's already not illegal. So the state doesn't get involved. So there's no point in medicalizing it. And there's no point incentivizing it. And there's no point prescribing it. Because what happens for the person who goes in there because just talking about being a little bit depressed?
And like, oh, you know, we can kill you if you want.
That. You know, have you heard of the MAID program?
Don't waste your money on heroin.
Yeah, dude. We could solve all your problems. God, it's just insane. But anyway, alrighty. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay.
All right.
So now we do know what the real, you know, and it's kind of funny. You know, I'm going to use a football reference for this here. It's kind of funny when you know that either the NFC or AFC championship game is a bigger, tougher game than the Super Bowl is actually going to be, because one of the teams from the other division is weak as shit. Because we do know what the real heavyweight fight's going to be. You love how I just transitioned straight to boxing with it. We got it right now. Both Trump and DeSantis have officially entered the race. And
holy shit!
And the Republican primary is going to be
two
so
titans
much
stepping into the fucking ring, dude.
And it's going to be so much bigger and better than the presidential debate and race is going to be. It's going to be silly. I mean, of course, the Dems are going to find suitcases of ballots all over the place. So it'll be competitive. you know. But in all actuality, when it comes to the debates, if Biden
I'm just
debates,
interested on how the primaries are going to go, because
that
Santos is a freaking, he's a machine, dude. He's
Mantis the DeSantis, bro.
dude, he's on point with all his things. But Trump, I think Trump has like a much larger, it's like David versus Goliath almost. I mean,
oh, totally. Well, DeSantis, well, yeah. Well, David wasn't a pushover either. That's why he was able to, you know, he wasn't just some, like, he would have whooped most normal dudes' asses too back then, you know?
Right, right.
So it wasn't like the kid from Geek Squad rolling out behind the desk and going out and fucking up Goliath, right? So
right.
DeSantis does know what he's doing, and he is massive, and he's big, and and I'm fully in support of DeSantis. I 100% am. But I don't want him to win. I do want it to be Trump, because, like I've said, if we play our cards right, America, if we play our cards right, we could have a solid 12 years right now coming out of this, and instead of just 8, okay? And because if DeSantis goes straight in right now, Trump will be in his like 82 by the time this next term's over. He is not. No, that's definitely okay. So it's now or never.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're right. If he is still sharp as a tack like he is right now, I mean, hey, right?
I was going to say Biden's like 83, isn't he?
No. Biden's only 78 right now, but he is the oldest president, and he's 2 years older than Trump. Trump's 76. Matt Walsh believes that like no one over the age of like, I think like 60 or something should be president. I sort of agree. There's a point where you get too old and you do start losing it. But I feel if you are cognitively and physically spry enough to get up and down them stairs without tripping and hold a press conference
and know where you're at.
You notice how we just stated a couple things that Biden can't do, right? Then fine. So if Trump can still hit that up and down them stairs, if you saw what he did to that chick, did you see the town hall thing he did on CNN the other day?
I didn't watch it. No.
Did you hear about it though?
I heard all about it.
Oh, dude, she was trying so hard to set him up for this, that, and the other, and Trump was pulling out receipts, bro.
Why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out.
She was like, "How come when they stormed the castle? When they stormed the White House, why'd it take you like 4 hours or 2 hours, whatever it was that she said, to respond?" And Trump's like, "Well, I don't quite think it was that long. Here, let me check." And he pulls this like stack of papers and goes, "Oh yeah, here's all my tweets from that day. Let's see here. So what time did they start storming? Oh yeah, well here it is, like 3 minutes later. I'm saying everyone go home." Like all these starts going on. Like, dude, he killed him, bro. And that's another thing that Trump has that DeSantis doesn't have, is that dude is a master at controlling a crowd in a room.
Or a conversation.
Conversation. He is an entertainer.
Yeah.
You know? And he's provocative, he's alluring, he's funny, he's quick-witted.
So what I'm hearing is we're all not hearing it yet, but we're all feeling a Trump DeSantis ticket.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is really going to happen. What I really want to see happen is Trump get DeSantis as his VP, because once that's over, we get 4 more years of Trump. That'll end his 2 terms, okay? And then DeSantis will be in prime position to run. He'll now have 4 years of vice presidency under his belt, and 4 years of helping Trump, get America back on track. And then we can go in. Now, if DeSantis goes straight in there and we get no Trump, we're not going to get Trump in there again. So we'll probably get like 8 years of DeSantis, most likely,
Yeah.
But then what? Who's next? I mean, maybe Ted Cruz,
Yeah.
But other than that,
maybe Rand Paul, he might run again.
I mean, Rubio,
Yeah.
right? So I'm kind of like, so 8 good years sounds good, but 12 good years sounds better. You get what I'm saying? And so I know everyone has their, I like this, I like that, but I like them both. Can't we just have them both? Can't I have my cake and eat it too for once?
Two scoops.
Can I have 2 scoops with the fucking sauce and the nuts on it, dude? Yes, I want the nuts because, like the kid from Kindergarten Cop always says.
Boys have
a penis. Girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
Boys have penis, girls have vagina. I like the nuts, right? We want the nuts on our boys, okay? And anyway.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And
that's what I want to see. So Trump, DeSantis VP, and then DeSantis can take over. And you know what I'd love to see from there? You know, I'd love to see a real woman and a real political figure follow DeSantis as his VP. You know,
Maybe that. Oh, what's her name? Dang it! I didn't think we'd get this far into it. I would have looked up, but that. I think she's from South Dakota.
Oh yes, the brunette.
Yeah, she's like a cow.
Yeah,
girl,
dude.
cowboy
Yeah,
shit,
she's cool, dude. What is her name?
She's hardcore, dude. Way better than what was way better than that one from Alaska was, which I liked her too. But freaking Arizona destroyed that bitch. Trying to look. Doesn't matter.
Christy Nome.
Yeah.
South Dakota, good call, buddy. Christy Nome, yeah, she's cool. She's Republican. But I was gonna say like either Kayleigh McEnany, which I hope to God when Trump gets back in office, she leaves Fox and goes back to being the press secretary. She is the best press secretary ever. But I'd like to see, or you know what? How about Candace Owens, bro? Candace, she was reading comments a little while back. She doesn't know if she's gonna. She's like, I don't think I'm gonna get into politics like that.
Because if she did, she'd have to stop doing her shows and stuff, and that's her bread and butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, God, I can't remember. I bet you find it out faster than me. That Democrat from fucking Hawaii, they actually ran. Oh man, she was a Marine or an Army Ranger.
She ran for president?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was 16 or 20. I think it was 16. And she totally roasted Kamala Harris, dude. And she's a Democrat, and I'm saying she's cool. I mean, God, what was her name? She's from Hawaii. I remember that much. She was a Congress senator or something from Hawaii.
Oh, you're talking about Tulsi Gabbard?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard, the U.S. representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District, began on 2011-2019. In January 2020, she was polled at about 1 to 2%.
Yeah, she's done a lot since then.
She's Hindu and Samoan.
Yeah.
But she's from Hawaii.
Oh, there's a lot of Samoans
on
the islands.
A lot of Samoans.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like her. I think her or Candace Owens, or if they did a ticket together, two chicks.
Dude, I've been
girl power their way into the fucking Oval Office. That would be pretty dope.
Well, for the past 3 or 4 years, bro, like right after, it was shortly after Trump got in, actually. I was saying how a Kayleigh McEnany, Candace Owens ticket would be freaking amazing and powerful, because those are two amazingly strong, brilliant Republican women, and I'd vote for either one of them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. On a side note, I haven't heard any strong candidates from the Libertarian Party. Not really surprised. Kind of let down, guys.
Well,
Spike, you could go against
what
Spike.
about
If
Larry?
you're
What about
listening
Larry?
out there, my friend.
Isn't
we
Larry
want you.
Elder gonna run? He's libertarian, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't heard any big news about anybody, but I haven't been watching close. I haven't had my ear to the rail, so to speak. So anyway, yeah, DeSantis Trump, I think could win. If
Oh,
they
I know they will. I mean, Trump won last time.
Right.
Allegedly, or allegedly he didn't win. I should say.
Alleged 80 million votes. I think
Yeah,
that's,
you know,
oh,
dude.
shit.
No, it's so funny. Trump got 75 million votes, which is the most that any president had ever got in frickin' history, right? There were 128 million registered voters on the day of the election. So that leaves 53 million votes. That's what that leaves. So how did he get 80? I'll tell you how. Because they kept letting people register afterwards. That's what they did. If you go and look at the times like a week later, it had jumped up to over 200,000 registered voters. When on the day of the election, there was 123,000.
Yeah.
Or 123 million. I'm sorry, million.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, no. But that'll happen. It'll happen again. They'll find briefcases and suitcases of ballots all over the place. They'll send people home. They'll fill them up.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.